Fellowshippers, what up? Welcome to the Fellowship Hall with the twins and Ralph. I am Ralph, aka Big Ham, aka the smartest one in the room, and I'm back with my fellas. Twin number one, Keith, and twin number two, Ken. Fellas, let them know you in the building, baby.
What's up, fellowship? It's your boy Ken, aka the Odd Man Out. Thanks for tuning in with us today.
What's up, fellas? It's your boy KT, the moderator. You know me. I know you. Let's go ahead and jump in what we jumping in on today. And that would be the series finale. That series, ladies and gentlemen, finale of Insecure. So it's season 5, episode 10, but it's the series finale. So we're gonna
Thank
go ahead and let you
God.
know what we thought about.
Hello,
We're
out
gonna go
here.
ahead. Kendrick told us, thank God. We're gonna
Oh,
we're gonna go ahead and let you know what we thought about the series finale and maybe what we thought about the series overall. But Big Ham, you want Ken to go first?
yeah.
Ken, tell us about this
Man,
series finale of Insecure.
I'm gonna try to let it go out gracefully, but today's episode could have been titled "Birthdays and Year Jumping" because that's all that really happened. Just a bunch of birthdays, a bunch of year jumping, and like Molly's mom passed away, which seemed like it was just kind of thrown in almost at random for no apparent reason. And then
I wouldn't say it random, but definitely thrown in.
yeah, I mean, she was good at Molly's birthday,
Mm.
32nd birthday party. And then, the next year, a little bit before her birthday, when they had for old girl birthday, she,
Kelly, or
yeah,
was it Tiffany?
no, it
No,
wasn't Kelly,
Tiffany.
Tiffany. She
Tiffany, yeah.
dies, and then they kind of just started jumping forward. It wasn't a closure type series finale for me. I mean, it probably was closer for you guys because you guys got what you wanted, but it was kind of whack to me. Like the whole Issa birthday party at Crenshawn's place, and then Nathan shows up, give her a gift, and then kind of leave, and that was that supposed to be tying a bow on her and Nathan's relationship? And then Lawrence got a girl she called want to take him out, and then she got this dude when Lawrence calling. It's all this back and forth stuff, and then all of a sudden Lauren show up at her new spot and they start kissing, and next thing you know, they in a committed relationship with a little boy at the house baking her or helping frosting a cake for her. It was I don't know. I mean I've given this show a bunch of criticism and been hard on it, especially this season. And I think this season finale, the series finale, was just as blah, I guess, as the rest of this season has been. I mean, we said it from the start. If her and Lawrence get back together, it's gonna be fairy tale writing, and that's exactly what happened. Molly marrying Torin, okay. Kelly getting pregnant, okay. What's the old girl Tiffany? Tiffany was
Tiffany.
still unhappy. She
Yeah.
spent a lot of the show unhappy. Postpartum, and then she's unhappy in Denver, and I don't know, man. It just was. Chad wasn't even in the final episode, man. It just was. It just wasn't. It didn't do it for me, man. And I know I said thank God as a joke about it being the end of it, but it just didn't do it for me. I'm sorry, man. It kind of held up to the way it's been this whole season as just ho hum. Sorry.
Mhm. Big Ham.
So as an extremely big fan of the show, I enjoyed the last episode. The closer was on there. Now, was the episode rushed? Yes. Everything was
Felt
rushed.
like it. Hmm.
Felt like they were just rushing and trying to get to the end of the story. So I thought it was, but as a nostalgic fan, there was shots in there that I like. Like running by the, her driving by the dunes and seeing Thug Yoda with his daughter.
Hmm.
Was a nice nostalgic scene. Her going by, we got y'all. Her
Seeing
just
the
taking
old
it through.
girl.
Her journey through the story. That was a nice way to end it. And I was happy, man. Like I said, like it took a while. Look, from the looks of it, took them maybe 3 years to finally get there together. But
Hmm.
I was glad to see Issa and Lawrence together. Glad to see they were engaged. Um, glad to
How
see
did they
them,
get back
together
together though,
because
man?
throughout the whole show, you could always tell that they were never over each other.
Hmm.
Like Lawrence on his birthday, Issa give him a call and his heart rate jumps up, and he almost forget he want to go out with the girl that came there because
Idiotic to
Issa
me.
called him and kind of just threw
Idiotic
his
to me,
emotions at
man.
you. At the
It
same
was,
thing,
man.
you
I'm
got with the girl.
sorry.
I know you understand. I know you upset that she cheated on him and they broke up all the time ago. But like they got past it, they moved on, and that
Yeah.
happens in real life every day. Um, You
That's
know,
true.
people overcome infidelity all the time, so that happens. But the one thing, excuse me. So yeah, I did feel like it was rushed. All of those scenes were well acted and good, heartwarming scenes in the show,
Mhm.
but it was
Yeah,
rushed. And I found myself
I
thinking
agree.
like, why did the first 9 episodes was just a waste?
Hmm.
They could have made this episode here. They could have made that the season. Everything that happened in this episode should have been done over 10 episodes.
I
So
got you.
we could have they could have fit these 3 years of birthdays in over 10 episodes this
That's a
season.
good point. That's a good point.
Like this episode should have been the whole season. The other
Mm.
nine stuff that we didn't even enjoy in the first place, it was all for naught. This one episode made this whole season off for naught. The whole season was bad. It
Yeah.
was bad. The season was bad. It was boring. It wasn't a good watch. But them to try to wrap it up the way they wrapped it up nice. But this episode should have been the whole season.
Mm.
We should have saw Issa formally meet Ja. You know,
Yeah.
we
Oh.
saw Issa build a relationship with Ja, being a good bonus mom. We should have saw that. We should have saw the Condola come to acceptance of Lawrence and Issa relationship, and Issa being established as the stepmom. You know
Yeah.
we we could have saw the breakdown of Issa and Nathan's relationship. That could have been one episode. We could have saw the building of Molly and Torian's relationship to this wedding that they eventually got to. We could have saw all of that. We didn't even get to see Kelly's baby after it was announced that she was pregnant. So I mean, I feel like I said a couple times already, this episode was a nice way to wrap it up, but this episode should have been 10 episodes. The whole season
Mm.
should have been this.
Mm.
This is how I felt about it. But as a lover of this show, I'm glad to see that Lawrence and Issa were together, being a good bonus family to Ja, getting engaged and ready to get married next. Issa, has bossed up, got her own spot for the block. She riding the Lex now. We already know Lawrence had a good job and he was living good. They seemed like they were homeowners together, so it was wrapped up nice, kind of the way we expected it to be. Kid thinks a little fairy tale. I think it's both
A
fairy
lot
tale and
better.
realistic, but they wrapped it up nice.
Realistic?
At the end of the day, it was a bad season overall, and this one
Yeah.
episode should have been the season.
Okay. So I reluctantly agree with Kendrick on this one. This finale for me wasn't so filling. I hate to say it, but it wasn't so filling. Of course, I am a big fan of the show, like Big Ham is, but this last episode, while it was okay, it just wasn't like I'm satisfied with this season finale. I think one thing, real quick, one thing you forgot, Big
Series
Ham,
finale.
series finale. One thing you forgot, Big Ham, was she also passed by the guy walking out of the Best Buy in the blue shirt, because remember
Yeah,
Lawrence had worked there,
one of the best
at
moments
some
of the
point.
show, man.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
In
yeah.
my
all right,
shirt, the end of
all
season
right,
one.
all right.
But yeah, I mean it was good. It felt rushed, like you said, Rab. It was reminiscent of the, I don't know, 2 or 3 shows ago where Issa was like imagining stuff. I mean, it was like scene jumping and different scenes and stuff playing out. And by the time you get to a point where you want to see what happens next, then she flipped and now she's thinking about something else. And that's what it was, except this one was real. And they were, going to birthday to birthday to birthday. And I just didn't really care for it myself. I feel like that Tiffany took the words literally out of my mouth, because I was gonna say, man, honestly, Tiffany has basically been a drag throughout this whole series, and I hate to say it, but it's true, man. Like, I hate Denver. She was just ungrateful, in my opinion, and so she said drag, and that was literally the word that I was saying. I'm gonna get on this pod and say that Tiffany was a drag, and maybe make some fellowshippers mad, but
When she said drag,
when they came to her house for the birthday party and they went outside and sat down, and she said that she hated Denver, and then she was like, I know I'm being a drag or something. And I was like, exactly,
oh,
that
did
was the
she say that?
exact word
Okay,
I was gonna say. That
okay.
nevertheless, I thought that it had potential, and I think we talked about it a lot last week, where we were saying that we wanted Issa and Lawrence to be together, but if they put them together,
Y'all
then
did.
it's, yeah. If they put them together, it's kind of like a cop out to me. And as much as I've been riding hard for Issa and Lawrence to be together, I gotta admit, I was disappointed that they put them together at the end of the show because it wasn't any kind of it wasn't dramatic.
And they didn't even show it. They didn't
They
even
didn't even
show it.
show it. Wasn't dramatic. Like if last week when Lawrence was at their party, what was it? What was the party last week?
It was
was Derek and
Tiffany
them
and
going
Derek's
away
moving away
party.
party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
going away party. If Lawrence and when he asked Issa, "Are you happy?" and they had decided to get together then at that specific moment for the dramatic effect, then I would have been more satisfied. But
Right.
she left with Nathan, and Lawrence went a separate way. And then when they started this show, I felt like that they was trying to make Nathan out to be like
Victim.
pity on Nathan. But I don't have to pity Nathan because a lot of the stuff with Issa, Nathan was a part of it, and Lawrence, wrong or right, we felt that he did it the wrong way,
Wrong.
but wrong. He
Wrong.
was just trying to profess his love for this girl, fight for her, and Nathan got mad about it. I mean, that's life. But I felt like at the beginning of the show, they kind of wanted us to pity Nathan a little bit. Not pity like, poor Nathan, but pity him like
Sympathize
he
with
was
him.
He's
sympathize
happy.
with him. He was in a
I had
bad
no
spot.
pity.
I didn't either. And then he left, he left. And then Issa got out of the car and really didn't fight anymore either for him. So that lets you know that she really wasn't in it either. It was all about Lawrence. So I didn't like the back and forth. Lawrence called her, she called him. Sometimes she don't answer. Lawrence always answered, she didn't answer. So I didn't care for that. But anyway, Ken was absolutely right. The Molly thing, they just threw that in there for whatever reason. I don't know.
It
Molly has
served no
grown
purpose
throughout
to me.
this series, but it wasn't like Molly depended on her mother for most of the series. She talked about her some, and then, they had the estate planning and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. Her mother wasn't so part of the show that her death would be overly emotional for the viewers, I don't think. So, Ken, you're right. They threw that in there. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to this last part is that I wasn't happy that Issa and Lawrence ended up together because it wasn't any kind of big blow up or big build up. It was a build up, but it left you hungry
Want
or
more.
empty
There was
because
no
Now you want
story.
more.
There was no story for them to get back together. It was just like a bunch of missed
showed
calls
up. Yeah,
or missed calls
they
or
stayed in
can't
contact or
go on a
whatever.
date. Oh, she
Mhm.
was somebody, so she can't answer his call. He was somebody, so she can't take him out. And then you next thing then they cut to her in her new building. He's stopping by. They don't even show her call him, asking him to stop by. He just stopped by. They start talking, and then next thing you know, they're kissing, and she dropping coffee and stuff. It didn't gel, and that's
It
the
Yeah.
was
thing. It
rushed.
didn't
It
gel.
was. They didn't show them get engaged. Like I was like, okay, when she was hugging Molly in the bathroom scene, which I was a fan of. When she was hugging Molly in the bathroom scene, like I was like, let me look for her left hand to see if she got a ring on it. And that's the only reason I knew that she likely had been engaged to Lawrence.
Did she have a
But
ring
even
on?
then, she had a ring
Nah,
on in the
it happened when I think I noticed when that ring that they shown in the room was on her right hand.
yeah,
I
not that one.
realized that she was engaged when Molly was on her honeymoon and they were talking on the phone. And then Issa was like, girl, that was gonna be like, and she put her left hand on her chest. And you
Maybe it
thought
was
she
it
engaged
was
to
some
somebody
Yeah,
else.
point.
I
Yeah,
didn't even pay
maybe I
attention
know
to
I
it.
saw a left hand. I thought it was when she was in there with Molly, but nevertheless,
No, Molly
whatever.
told you Molly was like, we've been getting in so much that dude done
Yeah,
broke
yeah,
my hand
yeah.
or whatever. And she's like, girl,
Mm-hmm.
that would be like she put her hand. That's when you
Oh
notice
no,
that.
I saw it before that. I saw it before that. But anyway,
Oh, yeah, I was
Fellowship
thinking
was
I didn't see it before the left hand.
okay. Fellowship was Big Ham was right last week. He sent us a picture of a dude in some Dwayne Wayne glasses. So maybe that was hidden. What
I'm
is it,
still
Easter egg or
not
something?
sure I'm
But
on board with that.
I'm still not. Well,
That
he,
picture.
he said he said he saw the Dwayne Wayne glass. So that's what we were
Yeah,
discussing. So he was right
it
about
was
that.
in the flash part of episode 8. It was that dude, and he was there
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning. It was like a 1.5 second shot of that
Mm-hmm.
dude with the Dwayne Wayne glasses on. Like, who wears
Yeah.
those?
Yeah.
It was
True.
clearly a hit.
True. Yeah. So I mean, closing out, it was an excellent series. I think this season itself was kind of bad. Not bad like horrible, unforgivable, but bad as in it wasn't what we expected from this show. And the
You
last
two
season we would expect
question.
it to be
You two
great.
watched Game of Thrones, correct?
I
Say it
didn't.
again.
Ken did.
I did.
So Ken, was this season akin to what happened to all of the fans of Game of Thrones, where everybody Game of
The
Thrones is
Game of
hating the last
Thrones
season of
ending
Game of
was
Thrones?
horrific
Mm,
because it had been a great series up to the way it ended. For me, Insecure, and I was gonna make this kind of comparison, but I didn't want to go in too hard on it. But since you bring it up, Big Ham, the way Insecure ended was bad, but it had been bad to me for the whole season. So it wasn't like it was a build up to a letdown. It was
No, but
just a
everybody
status
claims the
quo.
last season of Game of Thrones was trash. Like the whole last season was trash.
In my opinion, and this is just me, my opinion, the whole last season wasn't trash. It was the finale that was trash.
Okay.
Because it was, they made this character that was beloved kind of go off the deep end, maybe go crazy or power hungry, but it was still good TV. The way it ended is what was so bad about Game of Thrones. And to me, Insecure ended badly, but it didn't build me up to let me down. It kind of was already taking me down the
Yeah,
downside
the
of
whole
the
season was
hill
kind of
anyway.
as
Okay.
Keith said, the whole season was kind of a drag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Tipped it for
And
sure.
it really sputtered to the end.
but I
They,
still
they
the
had they
whole
had jewels in this last season. Like the first episode where they were back to college, that was like, okay, this is gonna be a pretty decent season.
it
It
was
was
okay.
funny,
Yeah, yeah.
the robbery and all that stuff. It was
Kelly
decent.
being
Kelly
dead.
dying.
Kelly dying, and then it was just okay. Like I was thinking like, Randy Jackson from American Idol. It was just all right for me, dog. Just
It
all
wasn't
right.
all right
It's
for me
okay,
though,
dog.
man. It wasn't all
Mm,
right for me.
yeah.
But listen, with the whole Nathan interaction at the party, it just
Hmm.
made no sense to me. It added nothing to the story. He said what he kind of fell in LA. And she was like,
Oh,
what or
the
whatever.
Crenshaw, her birthday party, you mean?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and it did nothing. It was kind of like let's make sure we don't add Nathan back in, but it wasn't even closure or anything.
It
It
The
wasn't.
was
guys
almost.
at the barbershop collected money for her
Yeah.
birthday, and he stopped
Hmm.
by and dropped it off, and that was it.
It was almost like they wanted to show that Nathan was doing all right without Issa, which Nathan isn't the main character. It's Issa, Molly, Lawrence, in my opinion. Those three are the three main characters. And
Right.
them saying, Nathan is all right. Like they're like, let's make sure we take care of Nathan. I don't care about Nathan. Never have.
Most people don't care about Nathan, but
Exactly,
they
man.
tried to make Nathan the central character this season.
He wasn't. He wasn't, man. Only thing Nathan did was distract Issa from Lawrence. And I didn't care for that. But hey, I'm sad, man. I'm shocked at myself that I'm disappointed that Lawrence and Issa ended up together because I
It was
feel like it
bad,
wasn't a
man.
much it wasn't
It was
I'm
build
not
up.
bad.
disappointed, man. I was smiling, during the interaction with Issa, John, and Lawrence, because you can see Issa was doing a good job being a bonus mom, and she was doing it in the way that I always envision her being, like in the way that I envision her being, like her funny slash awkward self. So
It
Okay,
was
I
let's
enjoyed this scene.
it was just like don't let him play with a knife. That's not being a good bonus mom. They're just being
'cause
intelligent.
Lawrence clearly was
On the
joking,
night,
Kenneth.
bro. She was talking about not let him cut it because he probably was gonna mess up the slice.
No, remember she
I
she
think she
pulled
was
up a
talking about he
giant
had
butcher
like
knife.
a butcher
Yeah,
knife.
a
Yeah.
giant butcher knife.
Yeah, it's a butcher knife. But listen. Let's go back to I think it was season one finale after her and Lawrence and Issa had broken up, and Lawrence was walking out of the house, and then he didn't walk out, and they like flash forward to them be getting married and stuff. That was like the
That was season
ultimate
two. That
finale.
was
It was
season
season
two,
two,
bro.
okay. That was the ultimate finale to me because that was emotional and it was like flashing forward and you seeing these scenes. You saw them getting married, you saw Issa having a baby, you saw them happy together.
Yeah.
Like that should have been this type of finale, and I just didn't feel that I got it from this finale.
They gave you that wedding with Molly, I guess. I guess that's what they were
I,
trying to
I'm
do.
happy for Molly too. I'm happy for Molly. Molly was the third one on the. Well, sometimes she was one and two, and then I think this season she fell more to the third level of the three essential characters. And I was happy for her and Torian. Don't really care about Torian, but I'm happy for Molly. But Issa and Lawrence is the story, and that finale to me didn't really do their ending justice.
Yeah, I was happy for Molly too, because it's
Hmm.
crazy because you remember I think was it season two or season three where Molly was on a dating app called The League and she
About
was
the
the high
that
level
might have
guy.
been season four, fam.
It was
It
last
probably was
season.
season 4. Yeah, it was probably
I
season
thought it
3.
was I thought it was pretty late though. I could be wrong, but I thought it was last season. Go ahead,
I
go
don't
ahead.
think it was last season.
No, it wasn't last season because while she was trying to talk to the lead dudes, she ended up talking. She was talking to the dude that had the gay experience that she couldn't get over. That was during the same
Oh,
season.
was it?
Yeah,
Was it though in the same season?
yeah, it was. Remember she
I
had
thought the dude that,
Jadena. Remember Jadena was one of the league dudes, and then he acted like he was her boyfriend just to help her out, and she got offended, and then
mm,
she ended up trying to go back to dude that she was when she got
she
drunk.
uh
But anyway, but what's crazy is Torian is the type of dude that would have qualified for that out.
oh, definitely,
Yeah, she
definitely.
actually ended up with him, but he was everything that she wanted. But so I was
Mhm.
I was glad to see Molly overcome because Molly has been through some traumatic stuff in this series with dating.
Molly bought a lot of it on herself, man.
She did.
She
She
truly,
did.
yeah, she was an
That's why she grew
overachiever,
though.
always in the head. But
Hmm.
I was proud to see her cross the finish line and
Yeah.
find her a guy who was up to her standards and actually get married because that's what she always wanted anyway.
Molly actually had a real finale, like a series finale moment for Molly. Her getting married, her succeeding. She lost her mom, which we say it wasn't so important to us, but for her character, she lost her mom, and then she still kept building on her life. She was still working hard, but she still did good. But nevertheless, fellowshippers, make sure you let us know what you thought about our reactions to Insecure season finale, series finale, sorry, and make sure you let us know what you thought about it. All right, Big Ham, let's go on to our next segment, which we like to call the MVP segment, where we pick a character or maybe even a moment, or Ken sometimes pick the credits for the most valuable person or most important moment of the show. Big Ham, we can go ahead and get our MVP from you.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Molly, bro. I'm gonna give it to Molly. Like y'all said that was rush. Because of the situation in my personal life, that actual moment, her losing her mother, was kind of like a emotional tug for me at
Mm,
that particular time. But um, I thought she was the MVP because you saw her and Torian, go from we saw the beginnings of their relationship, the last two episodes, and then we see them getting married, and we know the dating history of Molly, right? But then you guys said you didn't like the fact that uh, Issa and Lawrence ended up, but right before Molly found out her mother passed, she actually was the
yeah, she
catalyst
was a catalyst. Hmm.
for Issa really going
Hmm.
back because she saw Issa look at that picture and her heart rate jump up or she froze or whatever and seeing Lawrence and the guys with their children. And Molly noticed it. And then Molly was like, well, you never said what you would have said to Lawrence that night if you weren't interrupted. And
Hmm.
so that's really what the catalyst to get us to Lawrence and Issa becoming a family. That was a catalyst to it. Also, we got to see Molly overcome, her loss of her mom, continue to work through it. We saw that, we can assume that Torian was very supportive of her during that time.
Clearly, yeah.
And then, of course, her father seemed pleased. Everybody that met Torian's family seemed pleased with Molly. Molly family seemed pleased with Torian.
Hmm.
They culminate everything by being in the wedding, getting married. And they started out as coworkers and ended up getting married. So I gotta give it to Molly, man. When you think back to the first ever episode of Insecure and the broken hoo ha episode to
Yeah,
where Molly ended up, and the hoo ha broken again before a good reason.
yeah.
It was just all came full circle. So I gotta give my MVP to Molly, man.
All right, Cam, you don't mind? I'm gonna go ahead and get my MVP,
Go
and
for it.
I'm in the same boat as Big Ham. Molly was my MVP, and Big Ham, you kind of stole something that I was gonna say, but I mean, Molly has grown over this entire series, and even this season, I feel like that Molly was always doing what she could for Issa, no matter what. I know last season, I think it was last season, Molly had finally got fed up with Issa and her mess and taking care of her. And she kind of had to do her. And, that broke them apart. And honestly, I was upset with Molly for that. But Molly got tired of being dumped on and she started trying to push back a little bit. And, it made for good drama for the show. So it is what it is. But my MVP for this finale was Molly and Big Ham. You grabbed something. I was gonna say that Molly was the catalyst to bring Issa to terms with her still love for Lawrence and for her to reach out to him, even though it didn't happen immediately. Molly still told her, "Hey, do what you want to do," and that brings me to what I've been comparing Issa and Lawrence to this whole pod this season is they're our Whitley Gilbert and Dwayne Wayne from a different world. And I say that because I wanted them to end up together, even though they were together at some point and then they broke up and then they got back together again. And it was dramatic. It was at the wedding and they got married at somebody else's wedding that was supposed to be marrying Whitney instead of Dwayne. And it was just
That was good
beautifully
writing.
written, in my
That was good
opinion.
writing.
And one thing about this is it was one person that was always by Whitley's side and was always in Dwayne's corner. Even though she was the one that told Whitley that Dwayne was out with another woman, she was still in Dwayne's corner. When Whitley was having cold feet, she asked her, like, are you sure you want to do this? Or do you want to say something to me? And she didn't do it, but then at the wedding, blah, blah, blah. But Molly is Kim from a different world. And that's how I feel, that Molly has always been in Issa's corner. And just by happenstance, she's still been in Lawrence's corner. Now she was telling Issa, don't go back to him, don't talk to him. But at the same time, she was doing it to try to protect Issa. And then when she realized that Issa is still head over heels for this guy, then she's saying, hey, sometimes you overthink stuff, or if that's what you really want to do, then you should do it. So Molly was my MVP also. King, go ahead.
Um, I'm trying not to be mean, man. My MVP of this episode was Derek. And the only reason that I say
King,
Derek,
come on,
the only
man.
reason I say Derek is Derek has been the most consistent character throughout the entire series, at least in my opinion. And in this episode, he only had a couple small parts. I think he served him some cake on Tiffany's birthday, and then he called out Kelly for not being dead, to which his wife attacked him to give her that moment.
Mm.
So I mean, I said it kind of in jest, but seriously, Derek was kind of one of the just consistent characters in the show. There is nobody
Solid.
great to me. So what?
He was solid dude.
He was
Yeah,
solid, yeah.
there was nobody really great to me. Like I never dug Issa, man, after season one. I just never felt her. And Molly made me mad too
Hey
in a lot of
man,
things she did. Let
who
me
who
finish.
hurt
Let me
you,
finish.
bro?
Let me finish. And then Lawrence, they wrote him to what he was, in my opinion, too weak, and pining over her. He got some girl coming to see him for his birthday. They gonna go out, and he almost about to cry because Easton called him, and you could see the hurt in his face that he couldn't go out with her. Weak. That's weak, man.
Love,
Let me
man.
finish, man.
Love,
Let me
bro.
finish. That's weak,
Hey, you
man.
need to go
So
deal with
that's
your
y'all
hurt.
top three. What he said?
You need to go deal with your hurt.
You too big. You too hard hearted, man.
Let him finish, Big
And
Ham.
so and so that's y'all three main characters, man. And even Kelly, man, she wasn't just all that funny to me. At the first episode, she was real funny. I gave her my MVP, and then since then she kind of tapered off. Chad, he wasn't even really in the show this season that much. Maybe one episode or maybe one and a
With
quarter
two
because
or
he was at
something.
the
I
Yeah.
think it was
party or
two was
whatever.
all.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm saying, like, Derek is always, this season he's had to be the voice of reason to Lawrence at least on one occasion. And he's kind of always around, just kind of, he always cool and laid back, and he never is messy like all of the other characters on the show. And the fact that he made it into the final episode, and he had a line where he basically called Kelly out for not really being dead. It was small, but I'm giving this to Derek, man. That was my MVP.
King. Oh, I
Who
don't
was
want
it?
to
My
attack you, but
MVP.
I'm gonna
My
attack you.
MVP.
It's your MVP, but I think it's like a spiteful MVP just
It's
to
not
be because
spiteful
Molly is the MVP for real of
to you
this last
guys.
show.
Man, let
Nothing
that man
No,
happened.
to
have
She
his
got
everybody.
married.
MVP,
She
To
man.
got
everybody.
married, man. Did it make
However,
her MVP
however,
because she got married?
however lame his MVP is his MVP, bro. Let him have his
That's true.
MVP. But I'm gonna
That's
say
true.
this about his MVP. Uh, they missed an opportunity to make Derek an even bigger MVP because
How
it,
so?
the way you get upset with Lawrence pining over Issa, I wonder how you would have handled Derek staying with
Good.
Tiffany, even if their baby wasn't his. Because I don't know if y'all remember, I think it was the what was the show they had? It was called the North Star, I think, where it was Regina, not Regina King, the other Regina.
Regina Hall?
Regina Hall.
Regina Hall acted as like the slave who was
Oh, the slave
learning how
woman.
to read.
What?
And,
What
I
are y'all
forgot
talking
about
about?
that.
Yeah, and
Is
so
he
Yeah.
what
insecure?
happened was
Uh-huh.
this was very big back in the day, but they never came back to it. What happened was all the girls had gotten together to watch the season finale.
Mm-hmm.
And Derek and Lawrence and Derek and the boys had got together, and Derek had told them that Tiff was over there with them watching the season finale.
See
But
that?
Tiffany was not there.
I remember that, Big
She was not
Ham.
there
Great,
watching the series finale.
great
Then the
callback.
next season, she popped up pregnant, and everybody was like, "Ooh, is that Derek's baby?" And Insecure never came back
Never
and
followed
dealt with
up.
it. I
I
don't know
don't
why
even
they
remember
did.
that, man.
Oh, it was big talk on the internet.
Was it?
She was not there watching the season finale. It was just Kelly, Molly, and Issa.
So
But
where
Mm-hmm.
she
was
had
she? We
clearly
never
told
found out where
Derek
she
she was
was.
over there, and she was not there. Yeah, she was
Mm.
Yeah.
not there.
It was
So they
almost
never
like it
came
was
back and dealt with it.
insinuating that she was out doing something
Yeah, they insinuated
and
she was
using
out
him as
cheating.
an alibi. Yeah.
And then she had said some other mark about something else about another time in the season where they were talking about something. She was like, "Well, we got past it. We got through that. It's fine. It's fine." And then there was another time where Derek told the guys that it was the dude that was always flirting with her at work, and he went there and I handled it or whatever. So remember that? So
Yeah.
that's one thing. Like that's one thing that's out there that if that baby may not be theirs, and never came back and dealt with it.
Never
So I
came
want to
back. That's a good
keep
But
point.
does Derek? If Derek don't know, I can't be mad at him.
we
Yeah,
don't know
he
if
just
Derek
they
don't
missed an
know.
opportunity to if
Mm.
they had made that a storyline.
Yeah, so but
So
Derek, but throughout the show, Derek has been a solid dude. Earlier in the season, he saved Lawrence from making a big
He
making
didn't
a
lie
save her
on
scene.
then.
himself.
He didn't save her
Yeah.
then.
He did say some pretty poignant things to Lawrence and Issa throughout the series, but I mean the dude only had like 47 seconds of
It was impactful. It was impactful.
Okay, it was impactful. All right, fellas,
but his
make
kid's
sure.
MVP.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. All right, fellas, make sure you let us know what you thought of our MVPs and Ken's choice. And let us know who you think your MVP was. Also, let us know who you think the MVP was of the whole series. I think I'm going to give it to Lawrence for me as the MVP for the whole series.
We.
But make sure you let us know what you thought. Big Am, do you want to open up? Who was your MVP for the whole series? Go
I
real
would
quick.
make Lawrence the MVP of the season.
Okay, who was yours? Who's yours? I said series.
Of the series. I mean, I think you just gotta give it to the main character. He said has to be the MVP
All
of
right,
the whole
Ken,
series.
Brad, you talking crazy. Ken, who would be your MVP of the whole series?
What was old dude
No, no,
name
no.
that
What
Issa
I'm saying,
cheated with
why I
Lawrence
make
with?
her the MVP
Daniel?
Daniel.
because you gotta think about it. Out of all three of those main characters, right? Issa, Lawrence, and Molly, she was Lawrence was really not put together well at first. But Lawrence, by the end of season one, Lawrence had already grown. And Issa was still stagnant. And Molly was already high in her particular statue. So you gotta look at the person who has come around and grown the most is Issa. Because just think about it, man. Like
No, she didn't.
first season, Issa wouldn't have been able to be a good stepmother to Ja.
Lawrence would have been a good
Issa went
dad in the
from
first season.
Why
Issa
do you
went
think
from
she's
being
such
that
a good stepmother?
Issa went from being what she thought she was in a dead end job to finding her passion, becoming a CEO, building a company that's big enough to be a brick and mortar company, and coming back around and being, a very valuable person, a very valuable girlfriend, fiance, and future wife, and bonus mother, man. She has grown a lot.
Okay.
It's gonna if you
Ralph,
Okay.
had MVP
Ralph,
for me
she
between
came
her and
home
Molly,
from work and complained about the little boy writing. That make her a good mother.
man,
Okay,
she
okay,
was just being
Ken.
her normal. She was just joking.
Yeah, she was just joking. All right, okay, Rev, I wasn't trying to make this a drawn out conversation. So you said Issa, I said Lawrence. Ken, who would be your MVP for the
Shut up.
series?
I think I don't mind the Daniel dude. I mean, obviously he was the one she cheated with, but
Daniel
Oh
was
my
dirty, man.
God,
Daniel
bro,
was
what is
dirty.
wrong with this dude, man?
Daniel was dirty, man.
how was he dirty?
He cheated with Issa.
But y'all can forgive her. You can't forgive Daniel.
Nah, man, Daniel
The
ain't never.
onus is her
All,
fault.
all Daniel want to do was slit Issa out, man. He never intended to
Mm,
really be with her for real. Until, but
She's
like
like a roommate with benefits.
he had like a half of a episode of want to be with Issa for real, and then he did no more.
Mhm.
Man, everybody on the show was messy
Okay.
except for Derek.
All right, fellas,
Derek.
we
This
have
dude,
come.
hey, dude said Daniel ain't been in the show in two.
We talking about the whole that we were talking about the whole show, right? I'm
We
not. I'm
did
not
say
gonna just
series.
How this
compliment
dude gonna be
Issa
the
or
MVP
Lawrence
of the?
when I don't want them. When they not my MVPs, man. What you want me to do? Fake it for the fellowship? I'm sorry, fellowship. I'm
Man,
gonna
look,
give
I
you the
stood
pure,
up for you when you chose
unadulterated
Derek
truth.
as your MVP and
Mhm.
keep being approved. But now you're showing your whole attire behind picking Daniel
Mhm.
as the MVP of Insecure, man. You're doing too
Well, I
much,
don't want
bro.
to pick Derek again. And it was kind of joking, but serious.
Mhm.
I mean, what did he do? What bad did he do
Mhm.
that Issa didn't do?
What about the girl? Well, what about the girl that was working at the bank that Lauren started messing with in
Tasha,
season 2?
Tasha,
Tasha actually didn't do any wrong in the
mm-mm.
series.
she
She
kind of
got
made
done
Lawrence
wrong
come to
by
terms with
Lawrence.
who he is.
She got done
Hmm.
wrong by Lawrence.
She did get
You know
That's the
what?
Ken.
reason why Lawrence gonna make it.
Lawrence cheated on Tasha.
Did he cheat?
Yeah, with
Yep,
Issa.
he's the Annapurna.
Huh?
Did he cheat with? I didn't know if he actually
No,
cheated.
you
I thought he
remember
just missed a
he was
couple.
talking to Tasha. Then he went over to Issa's apartment to get the stuff. Then they had to like weird little
Yeah.
sex scene on the couch.
Yep.
Then he came back and told Tasha that he slept with Issa.
And she stayed
Mhm.
with him.
No,
Yeah,
no, she broke up
she
with
made
him
him
at
leave for a
first.
while, but then
Hmm.
when he came around to
She asked me want
apologize, she
something to eat,
asked him if
right?
he wants something to
That's
eat.
me want something to eat. Yeah.
But I don't think he cheated with the Perner girl on her, right?
Which one was a
Nah,
partner?
he did have sex with a partner on her,
Right.
but he
He
dissed
hung
her
out
at
with them at a
the
work event.
Oh,
yeah, he
Perna was
dissed
from his
her.
job.
He
Yeah.
dissed her to go hang out with a partner in them at the work event. Yeah.
Hmm. And then he didn't want to meet her family.
Yeah, he left her. Yeah. See, Lawrence was a grimy dude too, I guess.
Hey
But
man,
Lord,
a partner is my MVP. Call me kid number 2.
oh my goodness. All right, fellowshippers, I
Was
think
whack though, what?
what?
Perna didn't. Why did Lawrence and Perna break up? When
They
they
Because
didn't
first
get
Lawrence
began.
together,
got
did
kind
they?
of jealous and she was like, "You ain't ready for this," and she just dumped that fool.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lawrence whack.
Lawrence was more into that settling down type stuff, and a Perna one.
Yeah, that's
But he
the
was kind of
problem. He wanted to
insecure.
settle down too much. See, he wanted to settle down too much. He take somebody cheating on him. Weak joke.
Keith, end this, bro. End this. Kid gonna get us.
All right, fellowshippers. Hope you enjoyed our series finale
I'm sorry,
podcast of
Keith.
Insecure. You ain't sorry.
Fellowship will throw all criticisms you can at Kid. Unload on him.
Man, look, Fellowship was smart, and they
Unload on
realized
him.
this show was whack, man. This season was whack, and the finale was even whacker.
I'm always surprised at reading the comments that Fellowship was right in support of Ken. Like, of course,
I am
I'm
too.
telling the
I am
truth.
too.
there are ones
I'm
that
telling
call
the
him
truth.
out for his craziness. Although one might come back to haunt him when they were saying that when he was saying this wasn't a good show because this season was lacking. But
The
nevertheless,
season
I'm
was
always
bad.
surprised. Yeah, okay. I'm always surprised at the fellowshippers that do give
Fellowship
him
is telling the truth,
props.
man. Y'all so hard lockstep in with this show that y'all blinded by the mediocrity of it.
I don't think we blinded. I think
You blinded.
we giving it a chance, whereas you writing it off before you even watch it.
You wrote it off before you. Why you never
This
gave
ain't gonna be good. Play.
you never
That's
gave
a
it a
lie.
chance, bro. You never
That's
gave
a
it a chance.
lie.
You didn't give it a chance, but you
I
told
told you
us you didn't want to watch it.
the
You
first
only
couple
watched it
seasons,
because we were watching it.
the first couple seasons were okay, and I remember right vividly how it was like I've told this story once or twice already that I ended up watching like the first 4 seasons or something like that while my wife and son were out of town. And I told you guys, hey you guys, I started watching Insecure, and y'all like, what? Let's polo it. And then and my response to y'all was that was the season where everything started off low key XYZ, low key
Uh,
XYZ. And I
uh,
said to you guys, it's low key, just okay. And that was my exact words from watching those first 4 seasons. And I never bashed it or anything. It just said it's low key, just okay. But this season
you waited on the
was
pod to
terrible.
bash. You waited on the pod to bash it.
Man, this season they gave me all the ammunition I needed to bash it. It's no longer
This
low
season
key
was a rough
okay.
one, bro. It was a
It
rough
was
one.
a rough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, low key facts. Low key facts. All right, fellas,
That's okay.
hopefully you stuck around and heard what we had to say. This was You know, it was a finale, so we had a few things to say. I'm happy that this show, you know, it brought a lot of exposure to a lot of things that Black people go through that hasn't been told this way before. So I do appreciate that. I feel like that Issa Rae did a good job for the most part. You know, it
First two
was her
seasons,
vision, it was, you know, her creation, and I think she really
she
did a
did
good job. So
well.
I'm
She
proud
did
that
well.
she did it. And we joke about some of the stuff we don't like, but all in all, you know, I feel like that this was a success for her, and it springboarded her career, and I'm happy for her. So make sure you let us know what you thought about our pod. Big Hand, go ahead and close it out.
Thank y'all for coming to the Fellowship Hall with the twins and Ralph. You can always interact with us on Facebook at the Fellowship Hall. Of course, here, like, subscribe, and comment on our videos here on YouTube at the Fellowship Hall. Follow
Mhm.
me on Facebook, Raphael Hammond, and then follow me on Instagram and Twitter at HamDog22. I'll be in the hashtags on Twitter this evening for sure. This, is everybody live tweet and watch the show. So make sure you follow me and interact there. And until next time, fellow shippers, happy holidays to y'all and be blessed.
Be blessed, fellowship.